Our feature story is brought to you by Belize Electricity Limited. Sunday, the 17th of October, 2021, marked the solemn opening of the Synodal Path by our Most Reverend Bishop Lawrence Nicasio. A key feature of the opening, celebrated under the theme, For a Synodal Church, Communion, Participation, Mission, was the unveiling of a masterpiece that was commissioned by the Diocese of Belize and Belmopan for the occasion.
I humbly declare our synodal journey here in the Diocese of Belize City and Belmopan open. We have image of this journey unveiled behind me. It says so much about what and who we are as a church in Belize, this Belizean Roman Catholic Church.
It's a snippet capture of who we are as a church. This masterpiece attempts to feature the very wide-reaching contributions of the Roman Catholic Diocese in Belize, captured here in part, and features just a few of these contributions in the likes of Novencia Diego, a teacher who contributed significantly to the work in the area of special needs in Belize, but stands in representation of teachers across our nation. Mr. John Woods, whose body of work includes amazing work done at the Kobe Foundation, as well as connecting of the country through enduring highways. Sister Consuelo and the Sisters of Palotti, who played a tremendous part of the groundwork in the establishment of Stella Maris. Father Gainey, who along with the Usher family, who was instrumental in the establishment of Holy Redeemer Credit Union Limited. The Jesuits, who were so instrumental in our journey in education in Belize. Our Lady of Guadalupe, as the patron saint of the diocese. Of course, Bishop Larry Nicasio is featured prominently as we journey in the way of the cross. Of course, the communion of saints who journey together toward our destination in heaven. Each one of us finds a place through the guidance of the Holy Spirit.
To get something like this is a journey for the artist himself, because you just don't want to put people in different, no, you had to make everything look lifelike. Because if you step like way back a little bit further than where you're at and you watch this painting, you could actually feel the journey. You feel like you're part of the journey. The journey doesn't start with mature people or people that been through life. The journey starts with every individual. It comes down to where we used to say, still say, it takes a village to raise a child. So I think in everything, if you're a religious person, you want your kids to be religious. There's a elder guy with his daughter pushing him, so it's just back to the basic. Any means necessary. It's the history about George Price. He is Roman Catholic. I had read once where he was even thinking about becoming a priest, right? And he have a lot of connections to the Catholic Church, so he was the main key of it. The Creator had gave us the land to live on, but also to feed on, right? And I think when you're showing agriculture, It's telling you that everything is pure, and just like how we could journey together, we could feed one another. So it does have, this could have been just bush, whatever, but, and also, like I say, it's not finished yet. You're going to eventually see some of the other stuff that you could tell, maybe like corn and different stuff like that. And even with the journey, you're going to have this part going to turn into almost like a little slope of a hill, and you're going to have a couple people sitting down. They haven't decided to join yet.
A masterpiece to mark this pivotal milestone captured by artist extraordinaire Alex Sanker.
When I found out I had a little talent, I used to sketch in, I used to do like, you know, those little social study charts and stuff in primary school. And a lot of people used to be like, "You the best artist," and it was a little bit of encouragement. That's why it always hurt me when I think about my mom passing, because I never did pursue the art, none at all. Standard 6 when I was 14. There was no art until 24. So that's 8 years, nothing. Starting a little sketching and stuff at 24 to like 28. I was painting on and off, but still I would call it full time because I had a job, but I was still painting. Still having a little exhibition here at Bliss and stuff like that. Thanks to Miss Karen Vernon and the older folks at Niche that put exhibition together. Then in 98, when I moved from Belize, I went to New York. When I was in New York, there was a lot of art that exposed on the street side. Everything was art over there, and they promote art big. So on my lunch break, I used to go to a museum, and I used to watch these painting, huge painting, like this whole wall. And I was like, one day I'm going to get like that. And I keep telling myself, because you have to believe in what you're capable of. But financially, I couldn't do it because I have bills and I have a brand new baby, whatever. And then I had stopped for a little while. And then when my son born in 99, I stopped painting for 10 years, almost 10 years. And I always tell people the story, what brought me back in the field. When I moved back here to Belize, my son's birthday was coming up. I was like, I need to give my son something that's special. And financially, I can't afford something, you know. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try to do a portrait. And like I always say, because of my son, that was my kickstart. And I was like, everybody was. I remember because he had dreadlocks at the time, and I built up the paint. So he leave the canvas. A lot of people thought I put the piece of wire and stuff in here. It was all paint, but that paint took me like 3 months. And that's when I realized, like, no, you need to get back into this. And the rest is history. I never did look back. Father Scott from the church had called me and told me that the type of work that I'm doing, it's incredible, and he wanted me to team up with him to do a series of painting. And when we sat down, it was a little bit too much for me to handle, right? There was a whole bunch of pieces, and I told him I cannot take that commitment right now because I have other commitment prior. And then that died off, and now and again he would send little phrases and stuff when it comes to religion and stuff, like most members would do to friends and family, etc. And then he told me that they had this thing going on, which was last week, and they wanted a painting to basically to mark that landmark. But the thing is, when he told me, and when we spoke last week Sunday, when he had the when they had this the mass, he told me after I unveiled it, he was like, "Alex, you don't know how I was almost paranoid, like what was going to be the concept, because I refused to show him any pictures." And he was like, "Can I see a picture? Can I?" I said, "No, we can't do that, because the reality is this is something that I'm giving birth to." But when he told me he wanted this, like the congregation or followers of Christ just journey together, that was the whole concept. And after we start talking, then he starts sending pictures with the different bishops and priests and with other members that passed away, like the nuns and priests and stuff. So he sent me some picture, black and white and stuff, and he said, "Hope it could work." I say, "I'll make it work." But the bottom line is, Even when we went to church, he was so surprised. He was like, man, and he looked just like me. I said, but that's the whole point, right?
Indeed, the completion of this piece will mark a journey for the artist himself. As we unite in communion on this journey, may the work of the Church find greater participation as we invite all to join us on the mission of following Christ. And that's our feature story. Thanks for watching. For this and more feature stories, you can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or view on Guadalupe Media channel 96 on CCV or channel 64 on CBC. You can also tune in on the radio in your car, home, or office at 101.9 FM, and please be sure to download the Guadalupe Media radio app from Google Play or the App Store. Our Blessed Mother, lead us to Jesus.